Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Wednesday, March 22, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. UAB vs Vanderbilt. UAB is coming off a one-sided victory over Morehead Street, where the Blazers offense shot 50% from the floor, despite Jordan Jelly Walker going just 1-12 shooting. The Blazers won the rebounding battle by 14 and secured 11 offensive boards, while also assisting on 16 of 33 made shots. UAB held the lead the entire game was led by Ty Brewer with 25 points. Trey Jemison had a double-double tallying 11 points and 16 rebounds. UAB enters this contest with a net scoring margin of plus 10 points per game, which is good for 15th in America. The Blazers have been one of the fastest teams in the country this season, and that has translated to them firing off around 63 shot attempts per game, which is 7th in the country. The Blazers have generated and been most successful near the basket. When they haven't been able to convert initially, UAB has crashed the boards with a vigor. They not only sit top 10 in offensive rebound rate, but they are also inside the top 10 in second chance conversion rate. Where the offense has been somewhat laggard has been beyond the arc, although the Blazers aren't in love with the three ball by any means and prefer to attack the basket. On the defensive side of the court, the Blazers have been remarkably pesky and force nearly 8 steals per game, which is top 50 in the country. Not only have they had success poking the ball away, UAB is 8th in the country in potential quick points off steals and should get a fair amount of fast break points here. While the offense has been strong down low, the defense has been a bit inconsistent down low, and opponents have connected on over 60% in the key. The Blazers have also struggled on the glass, but have done well limiting foes to second chance points. If the Blazers are able to win the battle on the boards here, they should see themselves advancing to the next round. Vanderbilt comes into this contest with a net scoring margin of plus 0.7 points per game, which is good for 163rd in the country. The Commodores have preferred to get most of their points from beyond the arc and are 81st in three-point shooting. Vanderbilt has also valued the basketball, which has allowed them to make the most of their possessions, and their strong ball security has vaulted them to 37th in field goal attempt rate. On the glass, the Commodores have been pretty average in terms of securing missed shots, and they will have a tough go of it when they do pull down missed shots, as the Blazers sit 13th in opponent's second chance conversion rate. The Commodores have defended the interior well this season and currently are holding opposition to under 60% shooting near the basket. This trend will need to continue against the Blazers. Vanderbilt has also defended the perimeter very well, but will likely welcome UAB to take outside shots, as they haven't been all that effective from long range. What has been a consistent worry for Vanderbilt has been their inability to close possessions. They come into this contest sitting bottom 60 in the country in opponent offensive rebound rate. This game will come down to who wins the battle on the glass, and if the Commodores are unable to do that, they'll need to rely on their outside shooting to advance. The Blazers have been cooking in the postseason, and that has been credited to their high-octane offense. And not only has UAB been shooting lights out, but they've managed to snag over a third of their missed shots on average, and they should capitalize against a Vanderbilt team that has struggled closing out possessions. Vanderbilt has been too reliant on their outside shooting, and this variance could lead them to scoring droughts that will be hard to surmount against the Blazers. Take UAB plus 1 point. UAB is 49th in KenPom's ratings, playing at an adjusted tempo that ranks 31st. The Blazers finished 3rd in CUSA, even with such a stellar record this season. They've gone 6-5 on the road so far. They know how to score, putting up the 10th most points per game with 81.5. Their efficiency is solid too, with a 35.8% clip from beyond the arc and a 45.7% field goal percentage. UAB also pulls down the 5th most offensive boards per game in the country, 13.4. The Blazers are also great at grabbing defensive rebounds, hence their plus 6.1 rebounding margin per game overall. Their opponents only hit 31.8% of their threes, which is 66th nationally. They limit foes to 41.3% on all field goals, which is 44th. Vanderbilt enters this contest with a 14-5 record on their home floor. The Commodores are 80th in KenPom's ratings. They were 6th in the very tough sec this season. Their offense is the strength of the team, ranking 25th in KenPom's adjusted offensive efficiency ratings. Vanderbilt committed the fewest turnovers per game in the SEC, 10.8, a number that was top 50 nationwide. While their 42.9% field goal percentage isn't great, they shoot a solid 33.9% from three-point range. On defense, they were only 148th in adjusted efficiency, and that can be traced to only forcing 10.3 turnovers per game. Allowing offensive rebounds has also been an issue, as they're 335th in college basketball by giving up 11.6 per game. The Commodores have allowed 23 offensive rebounds in 2 net games. They hold opposing teams to 31.4% on threes, which is 50th in the nation. NCAAB has been one of the fastest-paced teams all season, and that pace hasn't been slowed. Even if Vanderbilt chooses to slow the game down, the Blazers are coming off a 77-point performance on just 65 possessions. Vanderbilt has routinely taken care of the ball, and their 37th ranked field goal attempt rate will keep the shot volume high here. With face pace expected and both squads inside the top 50 in field goal attempt rate, expect points. The play is the over 152.5. Cincinnati vs Utah Valley. In their second round win, the Bearcats took a 6-5 lead in the third minute and never looked back, running the lead to 3 at the half and to 19 at its highest point. They shot 52.6% from the field, but only 28.6% from 3. Cincinnati dominated down low, scoring 40 points and owning the glass, out-rebounding Hofstra, 42-27. They did cough up 15 turnovers on the day that led to 14 points for the Pride, so that'll be an area they look to shore up on Wednesday. This season the Bearcats are averaging 77.4 points per game on offense, 48th best in the country, while allowing 69.2 points per game on the defense end. Over their last 5 games the Bearcats averaged 77.8 points per game behind 45.4% shooting overall. On the rebounding front they have averaged a solid 37.2 per game to go along with a plus 2.8 margin in their favor. They normally do well to hold on to the ball, averaging just 10.7 turnovers on the year to go with a 1.5 assist to turnover ratio. A late second half surge allowed the Wolverines to pull away from Colorado after the pair were tied at the half. Excellent shooting carried Utah Valley, who was 55.9% from the field, 52.9% from 3 and 100% from the free throw line. Utah Valley had 32 rebounds and 3 blocked shots. On the season they have averaged 39.9 rebounds per game, 7th best in the country, and their 6.6 blocks per game are tops in the land. The Wolverines' offense is just behind Cincinnati's, averaging 77.2 points per game, 52nd in the country, and have shot 46.6% from the field and 33.6% from 3. On the defense end they've allowed 68.1 points per game on average, holding the opposition to 39.1% shooting from the field, 5th best in the country, and 30.6% from 3 on the year. Utah Valley has averaged 87.4 points of offense over their last 5 games and have allowed 70.8 per game. This will be the first time these two have met since 2010 and only the second time ever. The Bearcats won that affair 92-72, but that is ancient history at this point. There were no common opponents between the two this season either. Both teams were fantastic in the books this season, Cincinnati going 23-11 at TS and Utah Valley 23-9 at TS all year. Senior guard Landers Noli 2 leads Cincy in scoring this season. He's averaging 16.7 points on 45.1% shooting and 5.8 rebounds per game. A few other Bearcats to watch are senior guard David DeJulius, 14.7 ppg and 5.4 apg, sophomore forward Victor Lakin, 11.7 ppg and 7.0 rpg, and junior guard Jeremiah Davenport, 9.3 ppg. Cincinnati scores 77.9 points per game, 41st, and shoots 45.5%, 131st, including 36.0% from three-point range, 78th. It converts 70.2% of its free throws, 240th, and averages 33.8 rebounds, 57th, with a plus 2.9 rebounding margin. Cincy is 46th in schedule-adjusted offensive efficiency and 114th in adjusted tempo, per KenPom. Junior guard Leonard Darthard paces the Wolverines in scoring. He's averaging 13.9 points on 43.5% shooting and makes 90.1% of his free throw attempts. Other players to watch when Utah Valley takes the floor are junior guard Justin Harmon, 13.8 ppg, senior guard Trey Woodbury, 13.6 ppg, 5.7 rpg, and 4.6 apg, and sophomore center Aziz Bandaogo, 11.4 ppg, 10.1 rpg, and 2.9 bpg. Uvu scores 76.7 points per game, 61st, and shoots 45.9% from the field, 104th, including 32.3% from long range, 294th. The Wolverines convert 74.5% of their free throws, 70th, and average 37.6 rebounds, 4th, with a plus 4.0 rebounding margin. They're 112th in adjusted offensive efficiency and 43rd in adjusted tempo. These two teams have been putting up the points in the postseason. Cincinnati has averaged 73 points per game in their 4 games, including scoring just 48 against top-ranked Houston in the AAC tourney. Utah Valley has averaged 81 points per game over their last 4 games, so combined these teams have given us 154 points per game on average. The Bearcats have scored 79 or more in 5 of their last 7 games and have had 16 of their games go over this season. The Wolverines have scored 81 or more in 3 straight games and 4 of their last 5. These teams are also considered high-tempo offenses, with KenPom ranking Cincinnati 114th in their tempo ratings and Utah Valley 43rd. With both teams shooting over 50% in their last games and the points they've been putting up at the end of the season, I expect that to continue. Take the over.